Oof. All right. We are live, ladies and gentle people. Everything seems to work right off the bat right now. Welcome back to the channel as well. Tonight, we are taking a bit of a trip to modified memory lane. I'm gonna be on the PS3 tonight, the debugging kit, and we're gonna be running Gran Turismo 2 Project A-Spec again. Now, I've played a whole plethora of that game on the channel in the past, and it has been nothing short of fantastic. Yeah, you might have the odd bug with the game crashing in arcade mode, but we are absolutely not playing arcade mode. We are playing the simulation mode, aka Gran Turismo mode in EU territories. So, yeah. We're going to be popping back into the Gran Turismo mode, completing more stuff, and ultimately having ourselves a bit of a good old time. But we are going to be doing it on PS3, modified PS3, keep in mind. And we are going to be using this dongle doohickey to USB that allows me to use my PlayStation 1 controller, the original controller design from Japan in 1994, before it was made a little bit bigger for the Western audiences. This one is the Japanese variant of the original digital controller. It is slightly smaller than what you're used to. And I do like that for my hands. It makes everything so much easier to reach. And yeah, that's what we're using to play this game tonight. Normally, I would use either the NetYarosi controller or maybe a DualShock 2 or a DualShock. But I do like using the digital controller. It just has such a nice feel to it that you don't really get these days. That being said, yeah, we are here on the PS3. We're going to be doing a little thing. So, this is an ISO image. This debugging kit does have custom firmware on it that allows me to run ISOs. Well, it's very, very helpful indeed. You can see, it's right here. It is Project A-Spec 1.2 combined disc, which fuses both the Gran Turismo disc, simulation disc, and the arcade mode discs into one, restores cut content, and adds stuff in. So, yeah. I also have a memory card set up. We are going to try and continue from where we left off. This might just be the save file for it. I am unsure. But we'll find out when we launch the game and then inevitably says, hey, you don't have a save file. The reason we are emulating this instead of running on original hardware is I don't have an ODE on any of my PS1. None of them are modified. They were. I did come into one modified PS1 in my entirety of making content. And yeah, that was an SCPH-1002, and I did trade that away. No, I sold that. Never mind, I sold that. I didn't trade it away, I sold it. Okay, so we did make the right choice with that memory card. Nice. Love to see it. Love to see it! Auto load complete. So there's the menu. We're going to simulation mode, aka Gran Turismo mode, and we're just gonna have ourselves a good old time. I also have a plethora of drinks available at my disposal. There we go. Oh, that's fantastic. Right, let's get to grips with what we were doing last time. We are in the Sylvia, we've been there for 233 days. Also, Racing Modified Sylvia, the Daishin GT300. We also have the Scuro Pikes Peak, I believe, and we do. So this is our save file that we've made all the progress on. Like from the previous Project A-Spec streams. This is genuinely my preferred way to play the damn game. Right, let's see. We have Super Touring Trophy to do. 394 break. Is the Daishin Sylvia even that? The Sylvia doesn't get very fast. I believe it's like 290. Let's find out, shall we? Oh, boy howdy. 346. We're in just under the threshold. Well, we're 50 horsepower below the threshold. But we cannot! We are not able to modify it, unfortunately. Yeah, as much as I would like to. The Sylvia is the best car I've used in a while. I mean, for absolute context, this little beast has a ton of grip, it handles nicely, and it's nice off the line. Pardon me, it's just not as fast as I would want it to be in a race like that. I need to find out what I can take instead. The Capri Zack Speed Turbo. Ford Capri. The GTR 4-door tuned by Nismo. I mean, we're only limited by horsepower. So if your car puts out a shite load torque, then you best believe. Oh, my apologies. I best believe we're gonna do what we can to help improve this car. Might be tuned by Nismo, but it's not a race car. So we're still able to do a lot of things with it. So racing soft. So we are actually going to do what we can for this within the performance threshold. I want to go back and check though. I'm going to go back and check and see what it is. Just to have that number in my head and we can come as close to the number as possible. Once we do that, we'll have a great base. So 394. Let's see where that leaves us. 394. Let's grab a muffler, see what we can do here. So at 293, we can put in almost 100 horsepower. So we're gonna try our absolute best, and I want to make sure this car is in tip-top condition. So what we're gonna chuck it through. Brake balance controller, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh. So we're gonna get the main stuff done first. Eventually, we're professionals, that's what we want. So we're gonna grab full customization. Keep in mind, this is from 1999. All these kind of stats in there. Tech has gotten a lot better for cars in terms of upgradability and what you can put on them. So we're gonna go full racing transmission. Flywheel, make the car a lot lighter. So essentially, what we're doing right now essentially what we're doing right now is replacing parts of the car with lighter versions. Because that means the car is going to need less power to get it to where it was. Or where it needs to be. So like, if the car tops out at 250, it's now going to be easier to get there. Because the car is going to be lighter. Oh my goodness. Done suspension, brakes, drivetrain, let's do engine. We've also put a new muffler on the thing. So we're going to stick an ECU in the car. We are... Now keep in mind, some of these just don't replace parts. Like your engine balancing and port polish. Engine balancing, an extensive upgrade that includes piston and connection rod weight balancing and precision balance crankshaft. Reduces vibration and bearing loads and allows higher engine speeds. The rev limiter is reset to take advantage of this. So with that, we're already close to the Daishin Sylvia. And port polish is literally just smoothing out your ports on the intake ports to reduce airflow resistance. And because you do that, you make more power. So, fantastic. Can we go natural aspirated tune-up? No. I think it's we can put a turbo in this, but do we really want to? Yeah, we really want to. Oh my goodness. Oh, and with weight reduction, the car's gonna handle a lot better too. So we'll do this. We're gonna look at turbos now. We're sticking an intercooler on this. Intercooler. We're racing. I think it's also gonna make a lot more power, more torque as well. Ooh, we screwed up. No turbo for us. Oh. Yeah, we'll do TCS, why not? I think we might be able to get away with this. Let's find out. Let's see what we're making in terms of like power. $344 brake. 317 foot-pound of torque. $399. Oh. Might have wasted performance. We are 4-wheel drive though, so we might have an advantage. Let's give it a try. There is genuinely no harm in giving it a shot. Let's do this. We have our tires plugged in. It was running like a bitch, I think. Right, our right height is lower, which means we shouldn't be low enough to the point that things just break. So traction control, let's put it at 20%. Let's give it a whirl and see what happens. Because if we stick a turbo in this car, it's going to put us over the limit and it's going to really screw with us. I could probably take the exhaust off and do something that way. But even I don't know at this point. Oh, this is interesting. This is very interesting. I didn't expect this. That bloody Lois Carlin. No issue. Dadgummit. The power with the turbo would be over the brake horsepower limit. I'm gonna try it again. The reason I'm trying it again is honestly quite simple. Because I want to. Bum. Oh, my top part's off. I'll have to fix that in a second. Alright, let's fix that on the overlay. Boom. There we go. Look at that. Absolutely riveting. There we go. None of your shenanigans. Damn, brother, the Alfa Romeo. This race was designed for four-wheel drive. There is something in my eye. I'm the biggest fan of it. Jesus. Right, so what we need to do, I need to see what it'll take to bring our car back down in performance-wise. Because I should have thought of the implications of putting like a muffler on here. Wait, can I go into the options and just take it off? Well, you can go into machine test. I think machine test is the only one that will allow us to do something like this. Or not even... God damn it. I think this is the only one that will allow us to do it. Doing this and then reducing the intercooler might be what we're after here. Fuck, man! My eye, you kidding? Nonsense. Right, back to the shop we go to see if we're able to make the power that we need. Because I'm in full belief that we could do this. Because our limit is 394. You know, that's not terrible. It gives us 5 extra horsepower to play around with. I think what we do is we swap our intercooler. Then we should be able to get what we need. Yeah, we're good now. Okay. I also do think Gear 4 lasts a little too long, but we now have a turbo, so let's go! We are making the correct amount of power. Or it should be anyway. Oh, no. We only have 5 gears. Nothing. Alright, let's give it a whirl, ladies and gents. Let's see what we can get up to here. Oh, pardon me. Right, no, you've got 9,000 RPM now. Let's let a sound bitch up front here. Damn, this brother's right ahead? I'm not gonna win this unless I get myself a race car. This is absolutely dog warm. Race cars. Oh, the only race cars I can think of are the Dyson Silvio. And with what I know now, with just how well that car handles, and is not even. Is it 4-wheel drive? It's not. Surprisingly. I don't know what the hell we're gonna do. Because this car is an absolute unit. It stops amazingly well. It turns quite well. And it's right off the line as well. It's just all around great. And because it's race car spec, it is what I, like, quite honestly need. Not gonna lie. The settings. Our spring rate. Our fine ride height. Gonna aim these little guys just farther ahead for acceleration and see just what we come up with. Guys, look at how it glides around here. It is just so unparalleled. Crazy. Yeah, it's like this because you push the acceleration. So keep that in mind. We have a little race car. They're trying so hard. It's crazy. I hate this game. That was so unfair. That was so unfair. No. I'm gonna increase acceleration just a little bit more on each of the other gears, like gear 5, 6, and also overall. Just so there's a little bit more there, but if we do it too much, it's gonna be absolutely atrocious. So we have to be very, very careful. That should be enough. I'm hoping, anyway. Because in a car like this, you need acceleration. You can't just fire at top speed. I'll have Van's back. Yeah, no, you don't. We'll put ahead in a second. I think you correct myself, that's crazy. This is actually crusty. Get out of here! You wouldn't have survived! I'm gonna crush them. Chat, anyone who watches this, I'm gonna crush them. March. Yeah, what the fuck you doing, you cheating little slapper? Get out of here. I saw the way you slid in like a hooker. Motherfucker. Right, there we go. If it wasn't for that aggressive push in the first try, I would have gone and no problem. But here we are. It was more second attempt than A. Hey, Christ almighty. What does a fella have to do? Why is the thing so skewed? No, let's go into a race and fix that, because it's so skewed on the screen. And it shouldn't be. Because I fixed it! And that's the problem. Have you got a car for that? I got an 806 Super Touring. What the hell? Turn 80 brake horsepower, and yet it's got. Wait, what? Can you modify this? Because this is very interesting. It shouldn't have been able to keep up. Yeah, that car shouldn't have been able to keep up, so the shenanigans are fruit. Anyway. That aside! For machine task, get everything sorted. So the interface is at least pliable. You know? If I've done it wrong, I've done it wrong. I was only going based off of something else. Oh, pardon me. Alright, so we're not going to bother with that. Let's see. Oh, it's fine. Their car actually is rolling. That's insanity. Anyway, that should be sorted. It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be the same on the other ones, like on the other screens, I should say. However, it's gonna be just fine here, to the best of my ability. So yeah, right. I had a drink. How's that being 44 minutes? That's crazy talk. Let's try the other one. Let's do this. Let's do another part of the Super Touring. Deep Forest is such an interesting racetrack. Also, I'm just thinking, I might just. There we go. I might just also put the big light out. Give me a second. That is actually much nicer, not gonna lie. Christ. Right, let's... Boom! Yeah, let's just set like there, I think, audio-wise. Sorry, I love getting my audio stuff just right. If I don't, I'm like, yeah. Terrible! Actual degeneracy. We're now taking on the deep raceway portion. Or deep forest raceway portion. You got brother man off guard. Nope, it's spinning out. Christ! I just stick my black levels back up a little bit. It's an interesting track for sure. I think what I'm gonna do is that. Yeah, we'll do this. Should be alright, I think. The gears are just gonna be a little bit faster. My aerodynamics have been changed, so it should be speed on the left and handling on the right, or speed on the right, handling on the left. Damn this man! Alright, there we go. We are kind of on our way. This is so messed up. The car wouldn't even turn correctly. So I've done something that I shouldn't have. I think I might have broken my aerodynamics. That fucking threw me off. That so threw me off. Jings almighty. Oh my goodness. I think I'm gonna increase the spring rate a little bit. Or lower it, I think. Was it this one we changed it on? Alright, aerodynamics is one that we changed. Let's give it a try. I don't know what the hell to expect. So let's see. Not too dissimilar. The car's handling much nicer. See what we can get up to. I hit. I'm being hosed! I got hosed. I got hosed! God, it's terrible. Because I was out there in first. I was literally out there in first. I paused the game to itch. And then the game's like, nah fam, we ain't pausing. Like, what are we talking about? Ah, you absolute scallywag. Could be finger placement on the buttons, I don't know. But we were out in front. And bada bing, bada boom. I paused the game to itch my head because my head got itchy. Because when you put in that amount of focus, that does tend to happen. Surprisingly a lot. I hate it. And I'm not the only one that it happens to. It happens to a fair amount of people. You just hyper focus and then boom.
Oh my god, I'm itchy.
It wants to pull. It really does. It causes us to pull out in front. Look at that. I'm very competitive. Progress has been made. Look at that. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. Love it. Voxel Vector isn't actually that bad. It's just the fact they're able to just boost themselves and catch right up. It's rather annoying. Because I had the distance. And they were just like, boom. Let's just mess everything up. What we're gonna do, we're gonna do the last race. We're gonna see what we get from this race in particular. Then what we're gonna do is do the last race, save up, see what we get from that, and then that'll be stream. Because I already mentioned I'm gonna record some Yu-Gi-Oh over the weekend. Maybe an episode or two of Master Duel. Oh, pardon me. Potentially an episode or two of Master Duel. Probably some Yu-Gi-Oh! Tag Force Evolution. And just all that kind of stuff. A 21 Turbo 4x4 Super Tours me. What the hell is this? A Renault 21 2-liter Turbo Super Turismo. What in the world is this? VR67 brake horsepower 3 torque. 4x4. It's a weird, not gonna lie chat, it's a weird way to categorize this kind of car. Well, not categorize, it's a weird name for it. Some of them did have weird names on the little bar when you look at them, and then when you get into the actual menu, or not menu, when you get into the little option for them, it's like boof. Here's the name. So this is Rome Circuit. You've got a couple of nice corners to it. Then you've got the straight. And then you've got that absolute melt of a turn. So I might have to bring my front suspension down just a little bit. Lower the right height a millimeter. And adjust for that. Okay, so we're a little bit lower. We're not going to be as bouncy at the front. We've adjusted our gear ratios ever so slightly so that some of them have a bit more acceleration than others. But here we are. This is the last race. The very absolute last race. I keep trying to put my fingers up to shift gears, but I race automatically in old classic GT. That's right, get my position. Thank you. Thank you very much. Wait, can y'all even hear this correctly? Oh yeah, the level keep going up. We're fine. Sorry, I'm really anxious about the audio levels. The audio levels in general is what I'm on about. Like, I know you can hear me, but I want to get that mixture of gameplay sounds with me. Oh, Captain Vauxhall Astra, you scampered yourself. Jesus. Now look at that slip and slide. Geysers. Yeah, this should be nothing short of amazing tonight. Aside from some dodgy racing on the opponent's side, this has been nothing short of fantastic. It really has been. Renault Laguna ST, a Honda Accord, Toyota Chaser, Peugeot 806, ST, and a Ford Mondeo. Does Ford even make a Mondeo anymore? I remember some of our taxi cabs running them. Five generation of models from 93 to 2022. Damn, brother. That is crazy. Like the classic Ford Mondeo is a bubble. Wait, did we check out what we got from the last race? Oh yeah, we got the what's his face? The 4x4. The Renault. So we're gonna see what we get from here, because at this point we're just getting race cars for days, and it's funny. It's funny as hell. Some of the choices just don't make sense. But I like what the game does. I really like what the game does in terms of how you race things. But we'll get onto that in a couple of minutes, because BMW M3 GTB Super Turismo. Oh. That M3 grill is disgusting. Anyway, how long's it been? An hour and 11. Right, let's yap. It's time to yap. Because I want to yap a little bit about GT2. Oh. Hmm. I had to fix that. Anyway. I want to yap about GT2 for a little bit. And what I like versus what I like about it versus what modern racers do. Now, keeping in mind, we are playing a modded version of the game. However, the base principles are still the same. The cars still race the same as they used to. The rules of the game have not changed. So it is a good counterpoint to what I like versus what I dislike. Now, what I've always disliked about the Gran Turismo series, the classic ones, so 1 through 4, is that everything is just glued to the track. Kind of. It is difficult to pit maneuver someone off the track. It is very difficult to pit maneuver someone off the track. In the case of what I was trying to do earlier, when I was trying to ram that guy in the wall, it was working, but it wasn't slowing him down. It didn't seem that way. His speed normalized, but he wasn't getting slower. I got faster, but I still wasn't able to push him. But what gets me is how aggressive and uncaring the driving seems as a whole. So you pull up, we're going around that corner, or I pull up, I'm going around that corner, I'm going around just nicely. That was a very great turn. And then there's this little 1 inch that you see of a car right behind you, and it's sliding, and it collides with you and knocks you off a little bit, slows you down, and then it pulls ahead. That is some shenanigans that I absolutely despise. Other than that, I like what it does in terms of, oh, you pull up with what's his face? A 400 horsepower beater. No restrictions otherwise. You race and you try your best. Sometimes there'll be a restriction, like it has to be a certain weight and from a certain year. No, it has to have a certain drivetrain and a certain weight. Because there's like the small compact car cup. And you can only take it on with a small compact car, like a mini Honda Beat, whatever. Is the Beat even in this? Whatever. Point still stands. So, like, yeah, with very few exceptions, you can just pull up with a car that meets the horsepower requirement. Forza, there's no such thing. It's all performance index based. Which, it's good, but it's also bad. It's badly, in concept, it's good because it means you can pull up with any car. You should pull up with any car. But the way the game pulls it off is very deceptive. And it's deceptive in a specific way. What I mean by that is, you pull up to a race in Horizon 6, or any of them really. Any of the Horizon games, you pull up with a car that meets the performance index requirements, not necessarily horsepower. Because if you pull up with you could pull up with a 600 horsepower A class and get in and still get bodied. Funny how that works. However, Gran Turismo features a set roster of cars that you face off against, and you have a chance to face off against per race. You have a chance to face off against a set list of cars, which, going by the time period that the game is from, so coding might not be capable of doing something like that. Like, so randomized. Like, you would have to. I pulled up with a 349 horsepower Sylvia, the Dyson one. I think it would be a bit too much for the game to pull up and try and match me. So, like a race full of 350, 60 race cars, or 340 or 330 horsepower race cars. I get what they're going for, because it's this whole startup grid thing where you have to race against set cars. Forza does it differently. It's the first time you do the race, you're put up against vehicles that are a similar generation to yours. If you're in a retro car, you'll be racing against other retro vehicles, that kind of thing. That absolutely kind of thing. Which I don't agree with. I don't agree with it in the slightest. If I'm in an A class race, I want to race against any A class, not just a locked set. In order to unlock all of that, you have to make a custom race, and it's kind of pointless to do that unless you're just grinding money for the hell of it. But yeah, GT2 is fantastic still. AI is a bit aggressive, and it's not really easy to make them spin out and do X and Y, so trying that's a lost cause. So it's literally down to your knowledge of the track and your skill. The Project A-Spec mod is fantastic overall as well. We didn't do much of it tonight, but there were custom vehicles in there that were either meant to be in there or were later added in by the mod developers. There's so much going on in my mouth right now. Sorry. I know that's a little bit disgusting to see, but it had to be done. But yeah. The whole thing with Project A-Spec is just, I love what they're doing. There's basic mods out there that will just restore cut content, and that's not a terrible thing. But A-Spec goes the extra mile. It restores cut content, adds new things, merges the arcade and Gran Turismo discs together into one ISO, and got it working that way. Fantastic already, you might say. Oh my goodness, I apologize. Oh, Jesus. But no, I've had a lot of fun. We didn't do much tonight. That's primarily on me. I want to end things a little early just so I don't get burned out from the game, just so I don't get too frustrated. Because I recognize that my frustration levels with it were getting up there. And the last thing I want to do is bring down the vibes of a stream. It's never any fun. So, yeah. Over the weekend, I'm gonna make the jump and do some Yu-Gi-Oh! Content. Get a couple of them done. Once 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 I get a finger at my ass and just start playing Dragon Ball again, we're gonna have a bigger mixture, or Xenoverse in GTA 5 again. We're gonna start having a bigger mixture of content because I still have to film some retro stuff. I want to update Xenoverse 2 and get the rest of the DLC that I'm missing. Get that done. So I can get all of that. And then remod the game to have what I had before. And continue the Let's Play, because it is a Let's Play we're doing of Xenoverse 2. Like, yeah, it's not exactly a well-performing video, but I think the idea of it is great. And there's still a chance for it to bring people in, and that's kind of what I want. Because we filmed 1, 2, 3, 4. We've done 4 of them back to back. And yeah, it was a fun time. But then I'm like, okay, those videos are done because it was what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 videos, 8 videos. Have I really not done that much this year in terms of videos? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. 13 out of 50 odd, Jesus Christ. But no, I want to push forward and do more things relating to my bread and butter on the channel. Not just KATT, but like Dragon Ball content and all that. If I didn't have the membership thing and promise early access, I'm gonna keep to that, by the way, then I would just chuck these videos up on the channel. They'd be up there for people to watch, and things would be a little bit better instead of me trying to like hoard these videos. But so far, there's nothing being recorded, nothing new anyway. I still have one Fallout 4 video from like 5 years ago, or 3 years ago when I attempted to play friggin' Fallout New Vegas. The only reason I never put the video up or even edited it is because I was wanting to make an intro for it, and I'm gonna get around to doing that. That's gonna be something that I should be able to do that really in the near future, because my video editing software is updated. Things run great in Vegas, so I can knock something together. So that's not a problem. But no, future content's gonna be Master Duel, probably some Tag Force Evolution. Obviously, I'm gonna be doing more Sparking Zero because I got Sparking Neo. I got Sparking Neo DLC. That is very fun. One of the mods that I had installed was actually, it messed with the gameplay so much that things were just easier in general. Like with Shallot is aggressive as hell, but when I installed Neo and I prevented that one particular mod from running, it was like an entirely new game in terms of difficulty. Because it's just much harder, and I'm having to utilize more resources to push forward. But it's whatever. Relearn the game a little bit. But I also want to do some modded content surrounding that, surrounding the new story mode. So that should be fun. See how far we can get with that. I've still got retro content. I still want to do GTA 5 content. I might even do some classic GTA content in the future. Who knows? Who knows? No, that's it from me for now. I've got a couple of things to get done. I'm also getting hungry. I've barely even eaten anything today. I've had a couple of protein bars, and that's like about it. With a protein drink, and that's about it. So I may have something later on. But anyway, tomorrow recording. I might also do some recording on Sunday. Get at least 3 videos done. Once those are recorded, I'll get ahead on editing them, and then another week thumbnail them, and then pop them up. And then the week after that, I'll do a staggered release, and then bada bing, bada boom, 5, 6, 7, 8 videos. That should be pretty good for about a month or so. Well, a month anyway. But yeah, that's all we got time for right now. Thank you for listening to me yapping. Thank you for stopping by and watching a kind of ditzy old unk play an old game that has been modded to be a bit better, or substantially better. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Stay safe. Take care. Bye.